Good morning, students. Your Ranjana ma'am is back here with the science lessons of class 4. Students, in my last class, I gave you 3 questions. Question number 5, 6 and 7 from chapter 5, Adaptation in Plants. Today, we will do question number 8. Take out your classwork copy and start writing. Question number 8. What are marshlands? Marshlands. Explain how plants are able to grow there. What are marshlands? Explain how plants are able to grow there. Answer. Some areas areas are waterlogged waterlogged. Some areas are waterlogged and are called marshlands marshlands. Here the plants survive survive. Here the plants survive in water-filled soil. Water-filled waterfilled soil that has less air LESSAIR. For example, Sundari trees SUNDARI, trees TRWS, grasses GRASSES. Such plants are called mangroves MANGROVES. So, the plants that grow in waterlogged soil areas are called mangroves. What are their characteristics? They have large air spaces AIRSPACES in the stem. They have large air spaces in the stem to store water in case of need. Store air. They have large air spaces in the stem to store air in case of need. Next, they have roots that grow up and out of the water. They have roots that grow up and out of the water to breathe BREATHE and are called CALLED breathing roots BREATHING. They have roots that grow up and out of the water to breathe and are called breathing roots. These roots take in air and carry it to the stems, roots and leaves. These roots take in air and carry it to the stems, roots and leaves. Let me repeat the answer. What are marshlands? Explain how plants are able to grow there. Some areas are waterlogged and are called marshlands. Here the plants survive in water-filled soil and that has less air, for example, Sundari trees, grasses. Such plants are called mangroves. They have large air spaces in the stem to store water in case of need. They have roots that grow up and out of the water to breathe and are called breathing roots. These roots take in air and carry it to the stems, roots and leaves. Now question number 9. What are insectivorous plants? Insectivorous. What are insectivorous plants? Explain the adaptation seen in an insectivorous plant. You can describe any one. I have given one. Answer. Some plants grow in soil that does not contain enough nutrients. ENOUGH. Nutrients. NUTRIENTS. To get the required REQUIRED nutrients, these plants trap and eat insects. Such plants are called insectivorous plants. So, some plants grow in soil that does not contain enough nutrients. To get the required nutrients, these plants trap and eat insects. Such plants are called insectivorous plants. Example, the pitcher plant, PITCHER, pitcher plant has leaves, LEAVES, that look like the containers with lids, CONTAINERS, with lids. This container has a liquid inside, liquid. Insects that fall into the container are trapped, trapped, and digested, digested. So, some plants grow in soil that does not contain enough nutrients. To get the required nutrients, these plants trap and eat insects. Such plants are called insectivorous plants. For example, the pitcher plant has leaves that look like the containers with lids. This container has a liquid inside. Insects that fall into the container are trapped and digested. Next question. What are aquatic plants? Name the 3 types of aquatic plants. Give one adaptation of each of them with an example. Here, students, 3 parts of the question are given. You have to write the answers in 3 paragraphs. First part. Plants that grow in water are called aquatic plants. Plants that grow in water are called aquatic plants. Aquatic. There are 3 types of aquatic plants. Number 1, floating plants. A. Floating, floating plants. One characteristic, it is to be written. The leaves are filled with air. The leaves are filled, filled, with air to help them float, float. For example, duckweed, duckwed. Floating plants, the leaves are filled with air to help them float. For example, duckweed. Fixed plants, fixed. The leaves are broad, flat, and have a waxy coating. The leaves are broad, flat, and have a waxy, waxy, coating so that water does not stay on them. So that water does not stay on them. For example, lotus. C. Underwater plants, underwater, underwater plants. Most of the plants do not have stomata. You know what is stomata? Through which the plants breathe. Stomata. Most of the plants do not have stomata and their roots are not well developed. Developed. For example, hydrilla, hydrilla. So let me repeat the answer. What are aquatic plants? The first part, plants that grow in water are called aquatic plants. Name the 3 types of aquatic plants. There are 3 types of aquatic plants. Floating plants, what are they? And one adaptation. Floating plants, the leaves are filled with air to help them float. For example, duckweed. Fixed plants, the leaves are broad, flat, and have a waxy coating so that water does not stay on them. For example, lotus. Underwater plants, most of the plants do not have stomata and their roots are not well developed. For example, hydra. So students, you will draw all these plants on your white page. Not only these, the plants in the desert region, plants in the coastal areas, plants in water, you will all draw and color it on your white page. So much for today. Thank you and have a nice day.